So the question is, when you are putting music out into the licensing industry, do libraries want tracks with vocals and with an artist singing on it, or do they usually want more just instrumental based? And if there are vocals on it, it's just somebody singing a background, ooh, ah, something like that, but it's not like a lead feature vocal. What are you going to find mostly in the licensing business? Well, in my experience, 80% of the opportunities that I come across, probably more than 80%, are asking for background instrumental cues. Sometimes foreground, they're not always in the background, but usually it's always instrumental. And why is that? Well, think about watching TV. What's happening on TV? Human beings are talking. Actors are giving each other dialogue. There's a voiceover. There's a narrator. There's somebody talking, okay? So there are obviously those placements and those moments when it might be a montage, or it could be a commercial without anybody talking, and they're just showing you visuals where they will want vocals. So there's absolutely a place for those placements, and those are really actually more lucrative than just background instrumentals. However, there are not as many of those placed. Just go watch TV. If you don't believe me, go watch a streaming show, go watch TV. Pay attention to how many tracks and songs you hear without any vocals and the ones that do, and see if you can find your own ratio. I think you're going to find it's about the same that I do, 80-20. You're going to find a few great vocals, a pop song, oh, I know that song, and then there's just tons and tons of background music that you don't hear a vocalist with. I don't focus that much in Sync Academy with vocals and background vocals. We are definitely going to add some of those training sessions and those videos to our platform here, because it is a part of Sync licensing, so I certainly don't want to overlook it. And I've definitely done quite a bit of it in my career. But for the vast majority of the income I've made in this business, it's just me in front of my keyboard producing music. And if you're a vocalist, you might be bummed out. I mean, I wouldn't be, because if you can sing, and I mean like you can really sing, you can hold a key, you have great enunciation, you can produce yourself, it sounds really great on your tracks, you set yourself apart from the industry and from the competition instantly, because most people can't deliver that. And I will tell you this for sure, and other professional producers will back me up on this, working with vocalists can easily be the biggest nightmare of your life. There's attitude, there's entitlement, there's just a lot of nonsense that goes on with vocalists, all right? Some of them are great. This isn't, I'm not judging all vocalists, but some of you guys that are vocalists are really hard to work with and very unprofessional. And so for me, I had enough of those sort of nightmare sessions that when I realized I can just do this kind of by myself, I can produce my own instrumental music and not worry about all that, oh, I was so relieved. I really I loved it. If I could sing, which I can't, I'm terrible, I would be singing a lot more on my tracks, but I just don't have the voice. I don't really have that talent. Once in a while, an opportunity will present itself. But you know who I work with? I've worked with people who I've done great work with in the past, right? I have people that I've worked with throughout my career, and if they're available, a lot of times they have their own home studios. I send them the track. They record their own vocals, which is like, thank you. And I mix it, and I put the final polishing touches on it. But that's the way I like to work. I like professionals. I like people that just can take care of their own business, and we can partner on that level. I really don't, for myself personally, I don't like the hand holding. I don't like to hold on. Let's go retrack that. That was a little bit flat. Let's try that again. I did thousands of hours of that when I was, in my sort of in LA days trying to, come up as a producer. I'm just kind of done with all that stuff now. I love just making music and staying instrumental. So I do recommend for those of you that are obviously in the beginning stages of your career, go with the instrumental track, go with the instrumental lane. You're going to find most opportunities doing that anyways.